G'day, Ian here. I wanted to take the time to introduce some of the key things that I'll be talking about in this introduction to Quantum GIS for Newbies tutorial. Now you'll see here, this is the key screen capture for the entire course. And there's other things that I'll be talking about aside from this, but this is key. And you'll notice on a lot of the headings, assuming that these make it to the final cut, they're there now. But in the headings, I have these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 as suffixes. And these refer basically to these key items, these key button pads. Now, like I said, there is other things that I will be talking about. But where you see those buttons, that's what it's about. So I start off by talking about the project button, and this is number 1, or the project button pad, sorry. Now, what's really important about projects is these allow you to finish work at the end of a day and save your project, close your computer down, and basically open up the same project when you start work the next day, and all the settings will be there. Everything will be shaded, the colors that you left them, and the zoom levels of the maps will be the same, and so forth. Very simplistically, that's it. This is exceptionally important for the projects we're working on here, because we'll be using a type of file called a shapefile, within which you can't save all that sort of shading information and so forth. But anyway, we'll look at that a bit closer when we actually look at the project button pad. Next, we'll look at at adding maps, at the Add Map Layer button pad. Now, there's two sorts of maps that we are going to add here. The first is a vector map, and the second map is a raster map. And by a vector map, I mean, they're the sort of property outline maps, the road maps, and so forth. And when we actually load the vector map, I'm actually going to talk a little bit about what this vector map means, because I want you to get into the habit of looking at maps and thinking about what they mean. I don't want this to be a press this button and this happens, and press that button and that happens sort of thing. If you are on my list and you've been getting emails from me regularly, you'll understand that I'm a geographer and I see GIS as a tool. It's a very, very useful tool, but when the people who are using the GIS understand the problems that they're addressing, the GIS becomes so much more useful. And that's what I want to encourage you to think about the maps when they come up. And that will be happening when we hit this Add Map Layer button pad. And it'll also happen for the raster maps, and they're going to be air photos. And we'll talk a little bit about air photo interpretation as well at that point. Then we're going to talk about the map window, and that's this big window here, and that's where we display maps. After that, we're going to talk about the map layer window. Now, it's going to take us about 30 seconds to talk about the map window, and quite a bit of time to talk about the map layer window, because the map layer window is basically the engine room of the map window. It's where you look at the layer properties, and you do map shadings, and you change the colors and the weight of lines and the order of maps and so forth. It's very, very important. So we'll be looking at that. Then we're going to have a look at the navigation button pad, because by this time we're going to have a map on the screen, and we're going to be able to do things like zoom in and zoom out, pan across, make a selection and zoom into the selection, and things like that. These are very important navigational tools, probably akin to the sort of navigation that you might do in Google Maps, but of course in Quantum GIS.